this blessed place, where harmony and peace reign, we present to you the disharmony of our experiences, the terrible effects of colonization, the indelible pain of so many families, grandparents, and children. Help us to be healed of our wounds. Dear friends in Christ, I still reflect on these words shared by the Holy Father during his pilgrimage to Lac St. Anne in Alberta last July. And I ask myself, well, what can we offer to help with healing? The Pope suggested that effort, care, and concrete actions are required of all of us to move forward. And I agree. It will be a challenge, but one I am willing to accept on behalf of the people of the Archdiocese of Ottawa-Cornwall. When I think of effort, I think of how the Pope reminded us that as Canadian Catholics, we must join the spiritual lament over the stories of trauma and loss endured by the Indigenous brothers and sisters of this land. We are part of the larger church that participated in causing this harm. This is harm that has been passed on to generations of Indigenous peoples. At this moment in history, the Archdiocese of Ottawa-Cornwall cannot remain indifferent. While effort is necessary to take on these challenges, how we go about it will be reflected in our attitude, in our hospitality. Our approach to healing must be framed in the gospel of Jesus Christ and in an inherent dignity and equality received from God. Care means we demonstrate God's love for all people by meeting basic human needs and working towards peace. Our aspiration is that all people will have a good relationship with God, each other, and creation. In our ongoing efforts to seek right relations with the Indigenous peoples here, we commit ourselves anew to the ministry of reconciliation entrusted to us by Jesus Christ, who is the great reconciler. I know that words and commitments don't undo harm, and they don't ensure a path of respect and equality in going forward. We still have much to learn. We are working with our parishes and Indigenous community members to fully understand the impacts of residential schools on Indigenous peoples. We're also working to discern what other words and actions we need to say and do. We are thankful for the Indigenous partners and teachers helping us to learn and discern. We want to announce an era of more hopeful and respectful friendships and partnerships with them. However, effort and care without concrete actions is insufficient. So earlier this year, the Canadian bishops established the Indigenous Reconciliation Fund and committed to raising $30 million. The Archdiocese of Ottawa-Cornwall has committed to raising $1.2 million as a contribution to that fund. We are calling our campaign a Christ-centered co-journey towards healing, Ottawa-Cornwall's fundraising campaign in support of reconciliation. The monies raised will be used to fund opportunities that support issues such as healing and reconciliation for communities and families, culture and language revitalization, education and community building, dialogues involving Indigenous elders, spiritual leaders, and youth with a focus on Indigenous spirituality and culture. While the Church and Indigenous peoples have been on a journey together for a number of years, the Pope's recent visit suggests a certain urgency for reconciliation. It is also an opportunity to address the impact of colonization and the Catholic Church's role in the operation of residential schools in Canada. A Christ-centered co-journey towards healing is a renewed call to financially support local, community-led healing projects. Your support will help make funds available that encourage and initiate programs that support those who have suffered from hurt and oppression. Please join me and the Archdiocese of Ottawa-Cornwall in renewing our commitment to healing.